Those cow-calf operations with fall calving herds will be going into a breeding season in about a couple of months from now. So this is a good time to assess the bull battery to make sure that they're ready to do the job for which we've purchased them. First of all, I'd suggest that you make an appointment with your local large animal veterinarian to have all the bulls go through a breeding soundness exam. And at that time, as the bulls are visiting that veterinarian, that's a good time for you to ask about whether your bulls need to have a trichomoniasis test. Trichomoniasis is a reproductive disease of cattle that is spread by bulls, and therefore it's important that you identify if any bulls are in your particular bull battery that are carriers, so that they're not going into the breeding season and spreading it throughout the cow herd. And that's also a good reason why, if you purchase bulls, you want to purchase virgin bulls, those that have never been exposed to cows before. Now, if one or more of your bulls do not pass that breeding soundness exam, then I'd suggest that we want to get a hold of a purebred producer in our area, go to one of the production sales as soon as possible and purchase the replacement bull so that we can have some time to get him home and used to his new environment. You see, I would visit with the purebred producer that raised the bull, find out what the diet was of that young bull before you purchased him. And in that way, then we can make changes gradually over the next couple of months. If the bull has been consuming a high energy diet, then we can gradually reduce the amount of grain in his diet, increase the amount of forage, so that when he goes into the breeding season, his rumen is used to going ahead and digesting a high forage diet rather than a partial grain diet. One of the mistakes that I see producers do is to take a bull that's been fed a high energy diet and just overnight put him out into a breeding pasture with no grain, nothing but forage, and therefore his energy intake has changed dramatically in a short period of time. We know from some research that that could reduce the bull fertility and therefore the calf crop. If you're going to put together groups of bulls in the breeding pasture together, then I would really recommend that those bulls be penned together for the next couple of months before the breeding season. They're going to establish the social order of those bulls. They're going to figure out who's king of the mountain. Let's get the fighting over with before the start of the breeding season, so that those bulls are more interested in breeding cows than fighting each other. Bulls are a considerable investment for any cow-calf operation. Certainly just a few common sense management practices before the breeding season can help us get the most out of that investment and therefore the best calf crop possible next year. Hey, we look forward to visiting with you again next week on Sunup's Cow-Calf Corner.